Hey everybody, welcome to Know. I'm Bernie Burns, and I am here with James Stevenson, community lead for Insomniac Games. How you doing, James?
Good, Bernie. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you guys have had a really good show with Sunset so far.
Yeah, this is absolutely mind-blowing. We don't even know. We're just so flattered and so excited everyone's loving on the game. So it's words can't really express it, really.
And you and I first met because last year when they did the debut for the Xbox One at the press event, they had a teaser reveal trailer for Sunset Overdrive. And I went out to lunch and I was talking about it. I said, all I came away with was, I want to know more about this game, Sunset Overdrive. They said, talk to that guy down there, and that was you.
Yeah, we ended up somehow at the same lunch with mutual friends, and we started hanging out and talking. I've been to Austin now and hung out, so like it's super exciting. And you know, to come back a year later to E3 with actual gameplay and really live up to the dream of that trailer last year that people saw and really resonated with them is something we're just happy we pulled off. Because you know, it's always, people always see a CG trailer like, oh, you're actually going to be like that? Right. Is it just CG? What's the game going to be like? And it's like, we're here this year and we're delivering what we promised last year.
Well, I think the board behind us testifies to that fact with all the awards that you guys have won so far at E3. I was super excited about it, and I was glad. I had the same reaction that you're saying, where I had high hopes for the game, hoped it was going to be a fun, fast-paced parkour-style game. You know, I love like comedy, mayhem-style games like Dead Rising. You know, I loved like Jet Grind Radio, and it's like sitting down and playing for the first time. I actually had, and I talked to you about it, I had a feeling that after seeing Assassin's Creed for the demo at the press briefing, and then seeing Sunset Overdrive, I felt like your parkour mechanic, if you want to call it that, your navigation mechanism, that you guys had it more, it was smoother, like it seemed a lot more fluid.
Yeah, well, you know, we're a little different from them. They're a lot of climbing, kind of scaling over buildings. We want you to bounce over them. We want you to run around them, slide around them. You know, our game is grinding on rail surfaces. It's leaping massively up into the air when you launch off of something. They're trying to be realistic assassin. We're trying to be like super crazy hyper agility dude in the end times. So like you have this, we want you to stay in motion constantly. It's not about slowly getting up the side of the building. It's about bounding up in one jump, grinding along it, unlaunching a teddy bear filled with dynamite at your enemies and just like wreaking havoc. So you're always in motion and always moving in Sunset Overdrive.
So you guys don't have a lot of meetings, I assume, where you're like, how do we make this game more real?
No. One of the number one tenets of this game is fun trumps realism. And that's like when you die in this game, you're going to see like a telephone booth come out of the ground and drop your character back in the world, or a rocket ship, or even just a van that the enemy mutants in the game are driving. Oh, slide up, sliding door opens, the mutants throw you back out into the game and they drive off. It's like, it's weird stuff, but it's hilarious and it's fun, and we want this game to be fun. Like, video games are games for a reason, and we believe that, and we're just trying to emphasize that with Sunset Overdrive.
Well, that also doesn't mean it's simplistic. So I played once late in the evening one night, and you were watching me play for the first time, and the difference between playing that first time and then I just played in a multiplayer match, it was Chaos Squad, where we had to guard some overcharge vats. I learned a lot just in those two gameplay sessions, like learning how to grind and change directions and how to transition from one move to the next. So there is a lot of skill involved with it as well.
Yeah, we have a really high skill ceiling on it, so there's like some, you know, like you should start learning it pretty quickly basically, but there's a bunch of moves you can do if you're timing your button presses right. Like if you're wall running, you can actually corner and turn around the wall if you tap X at just the right moment. And if you're bouncing on stuff, if you tap A at just the right moment, you get an extra boost. And so there's some jumps and kind of traversal moves you can only make if you're timing your button presses correctly. So a skilled player versus an unskilled player, the skilled player will get around the city much faster. Then layer on top of that, while you're grinding, you're like trying to pick which weapon you want to use strategically, trying to figure out how to get around the enemies. And you also have to be looking for your next grind as well, or your next traversal move. So you're kind of always thinking like, where am I going? Who am I fighting and how do I get around them, and which tool do I need to be using to kill them? And in multiplayer, then you have that ×8 with a ton more enemies and other players and how you're working together with them. So there's really a lot going on and a lot to think about in the game.
And you have an amp system as well for special abilities?
Yeah, so there's these amps that you craft in the game. You have to find the recipes, you have to find the ingredients, and you craft them. And these are sort of your special abilities that will help you customize your character to play how you want to play. So each weapon has a slot for an amp. You have one that kind of ties to your melee attack. You have one that ties to traversal, and then you have an epic amp where like crazy stuff happens when that's going off. And your skill meter is what activates those. So if you aren't playing with skill, you won't have any of those amps working, but as your skill meter fills up, it starts to turn those amps on, your equipped amps, they start activating, and you see stuff like your melee attack spawning a tornado, right. Or like, you know, in those trailers, you see that giant nuclear explosion going off. That's just that's a weapon or an epic amp where at a certain point your skill meter's high, and then you start to have a chance of that going off, and you'll be in the middle of something, and all of a sudden there's a nuclear explosion. Like, whoa, that was awesome.
And then support as well, because I like to play like a medic class whenever I play in a class-based game, and I had a ground pound in this that gave me the ability to heal my everybody else on my team.
Yep, so you can have like healing abilities, which are great for Chaos Squad, and even heal yourself in single player. You also can, do stuff like you could be the guy using the denial weapons, or like the Captain Ahab's a weapon that attracts OD and distracts them. The freeze bomb freezes OD. There's a turret copter, which is basically like an RC helicopter with a 9mm pistol strapped to the bottom of it that auto fires. So you can use stuff like that where you're just kind of supporting people and freezing stuff while your friends are cleaning them up in Chaos Squad.
I just imagine the development team like using it as an excuse to buy RC helicopters and test this stuff out.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping we get to make all sorts of stuff. There's a bowling ball gun in the game, and it's like, I'd really like to make that, but I'm not sure anyone could actually lift it because the ammunition alone would be like 60 pounds.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping to see you guys at RTX this year down in Austin.
Yeah, we're thinking we're going to be there, so we hope to see everybody there. We hope you guys come out and check us out while we're there.
All right, and tell us, when can we get our hands on Sunset Overdrive?
So Sunset Overdrive is coming out exclusively on Xbox One on October 28th.
That guy just walked through to pre-order just now. He couldn't wait.
Yeah, I know. He's so excited.
James, thanks. I'm really looking forward to the game, man.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you, man.
All right, well, we want to thank James Stevenson, the community lead for Insomniac Games, for telling us all about Sunset Overdrive. I'm personally very excited for this game. For all the latest information from E3, click like and subscribe, and we'll keep you in the know.